Lesson 2 is all about writing algebraic expressions. This is commonly a not much enjoyed lesson because there are words, and you have to write out words. And yes, it's math class. Deal with it. So, the idea here is that there's a bunch of different ways to say add, subtract, multiply, and divide. A number plus 5, add 5 to a number, the sum of a number and 5 more than a number increased by 5, are all ways of saying n plus 5, or really any letter plus 5. Similarly, with subtraction and multiplication and division, you can see there are a whole bunch of different ways to say these things, and I've got them all highlighted in red to make it a little bit easier to tell what the words that are important are. What I want to point out to you is that more often than not, people trip themselves up on this chapter, this lesson in particular, by trying to get very fancy. Don't be those people. Make this as simple as you can for yourself. And let me show you what I mean. Write an algebraic expression for each word phrase. So this is going to be, I'm giving you the word phrase, you are going to write it. A number n decreased by 11. Okay, well, no, don't do that. Decreased by, hey, is in subtraction. A number decreased by 11. So a number n in particular decreased by 11. That's it. The quotient of 3 and a number h. Quotient is a division, and in the example up here it says quotient of a number and 7, and it shows a divided by 7. So the quotient of 3 and a number h needs to be 3 divided by h, which can be written as a fraction. We should get used to writing division as fractions. It is what we will pretty much do from now on. 1 more than the product of 12 and p. So 1 more than. Let's find more than. Hey, there's more than. 5 more than a number shows 5 being added to whatever comes after it, a number. So 1 more than means 1 will be added onto something. What? The product of 12 and p. Product, there's product. The product of a number and 3 is shown as 3 times m. So the product of 12 and p is 12p. Okay, this is coefficient and variable, 12p. We will not write 12 times p using an x, because x is a letter now. We will not write 12 dot p using the multiplication dot. We won't use 12 parentheses p. Anytime we have a number times a letter, we will just write number letter, 12p. I didn't want to draw that, but that's okay. 3 times the sum of q and 1. Okay, so 3 times the sum of q and 1. So it's supposed to be 3 times whatever I get when I add q and 1. Otherwise, it would say 3 times q plus 1. This says 3 times the sum of q and 1. So somehow I need to identify that the sum, which is addition of q and 1, needs to be done first, because I have to have the sum of that to be able to multiply with 3. So how do I show that something has to be done first? Put it in parentheses.